Good afternoon, everybody. The embargo today will be a Sunday embargo, 10:30 Saturday evening. If I could ask you to use the raise hand function, please, for the live section, and I'll call that embargo midway through. I'm going to start with Keith down. Keith, you've already noticed. If you just want to unmute yourself, please.
Hi, Pep. Can you hear me okay?
Yes, perfectly.
Hi there. Pep, you like intensity and you work with a lot of intensity, but this week with Chelsea, PSG and then Liverpool, can you just describe to us just how intense this week has been for you and your players?
Perfectly. Our level was so great, huge, I would say, in these two games. In spite of the result in France, the performance was excellent. Reviewing the game, the same as Stamford Bridge, and hopefully we can continue 9 more months ahead of us.
You finished 17 points above Liverpool last season. They were never really in the race. And I think many people are talking about both yourselves and Chelsea being in the race for the title this season. Do you believe that Liverpool are also in the race alongside you two?
And United, no.
And you believe United as well for 4, between the 4? But do you think Liverpool are back up there? Yeah.
Keith, please. So Liverpool, since I arrived here in the first year, maybe not, but since after the year that we won the 100 points, that they won the Champions League, Liverpool always was there. Last season they had big problems for the many important injuries in the same position. Otherwise, it would have been different. But and especially because we were excellent last season again. So the last 4 years, both teams, all the time we were there. That's why it's the biggest compliment that I think both clubs, organizations can have. That it doesn't matter what happened, all the time we're there, up there. And this is the most important thing. But Premier League, we know there are not just 1, 2. There are many teams that can fight for the Premier League.
Thank you, Keith. Simon Stone.
Hi, Pep. What is it like going head to head with Jurgen Klopp? He's obviously a big character in the same way that you are.
He helped me, or his teams. He helped me. His teams helped me to be a better manager. He put me another level to think about it, to prove myself, what I have to do to be a better manager, with our teams to try to beat them. And that is the reason why I am still in this business. A part of try to win the title is, and there are some managers, and Jurgen is one of them, that make a challenge to try to do a step forward, and I did it, or we did it in Germany, and when we tried to face each other, because in Barcelona we could not face them or face him, and here in England, like we are many years together, so many competitions, so we face many times. Sometimes we win, sometimes we lose. But I think every game was nice because both teams have the same idea. So go up there to try to score goals in the different ways. He absolutely quicker than us, but in the same way to try to win the games.
Simon, Ian Abrahams.
Hi Pep, how are you?
Good, thank you.
At the moment, 1 point separates the top 6 in the Premier League table. So do you think we're in for another title race, as when City won it with that Aguero moment in literally the last seconds of the season? And does it show the standard has risen considerably this year?
I start to see the table after 10, 12 fixtures. After I start to see the table. Now to be 1 point ahead, 1 point down, no, it's not important. This type of games to win or win is when you arrive in the finals, when you arrive in knockout stages. This is important. In the spirit is the way you play and the feeling you have as a team. and this will have to continue. We reach a high level in the last weeks, especially these last 2 games, of course, but even before in some games. And this is what we have to continue. It's going to help you to be at the end in the last stages for all competitions, in the last month with fighting for the titles. Is the way you play, not the results you get right now. And of course, it's important to win in Anfield. I cannot deny it, but we know how difficult. Yes, last year was the first time since, I don't know, many years we were not able to do it. So we know exactly remains so difficult, but this is the challenge, and how nice it is again, like it was in Stamford Bridge, in France, and now to live these kind of games.
Thank you, Ian. Mike Minay.
Hi, Pep. Good afternoon. Just sort of building on that, I could be wrong, but I think I read in a book recently that you have a theory that you can't be more than 4 points behind the leaders after 8 games in a season. I just wondered, has last season and the way that last season started changed that perception for you, or do you still have that belief?
I never write a book. So
No, I thought I read it in a book about you. Sorry.
So you have to ask the guy who wrote the book about me. Because I never thought about this theory. I'm so sorry for the writer, but that is the truth. So when you add 8 fixtures, 4 points behind, when you have, I don't know how many millions points are still ahead of us to be played. So come on. So that is true. The first 10 games is important to don't go far away from for the top of the leader, but anything can happen in one league. We were the year when we lost, we won the second Premier League in a row back to back. We were 7 points behind Liverpool. Not now, maybe in January or February, something like that. So, and we won the league. So now is the way we played. And now tomorrow, I'm not going to make a step back or 1 centimeter back about we are thinking the way we have to do. Just improve what we have to do. We can do a little bit better in some departments, but in general, right now the team is, I feel more happy than ever for the way we behave and the way we played. We play in the Stamford Bridge in Paris as a great team, as a real team, a great team, and this is what I like. And we want to try not this Sunday in Anfield, the last 9th month. This is when it's my job, and I try to do it to the players.
Thank you, Mike. Paul Hurst.
Hi, Pep. You've had 14 different goal scorers this season, which seems a remarkably high number. Can you put your finger on why that is? Can you explain why that is, please?
Because or we do it in that way, or we are not able to do it. So we have to attack to the space, attack to the goal in the final third much more, with more people. So we don't have I said many times, a striker like what is something, have this smell, a special smell when the ball is around to the box, always is there to score a goal. We don't have this type of player. So we have to need it through the game. You have to do it with many people involving and everything responsible to score goals. When it's going to happen, we're going to score goals because always have been like this, and the team is always difficult to create chances. We create a lot against PSG, and a team like it's so difficult create one single chance. Like Chelsea, we create enough to score a goal. So, and this is what we try to continue to do.
Paul, Tyrone Marshall.
Hi, Pep. Raheem Sterling will be going away with England again next week. He seems to be playing with a real confidence for England at the moment, but struggling to bring that back to Manchester City. Is there anything
Raheem played really good as a striker last game against PSG. He created incredible spaces for all of us. He created one special clear chances, like Donnarumma was exceptional saving, and another one with the left, and the movements he had that we needed in that specific game. With space, so quality, the start to 0 to pass to 0 to 100 movements, or speed, the 0 to 100, he did it exceptional.
Tyrone, Dave McDonald.
Hi, Pep. You mentioned earlier how difficult it is to win at Anfield. I think it was 18 years. It was obviously until last season. That was obviously a factor. There were no fans in the stadium at Anfield. How much of a factor do you think that is in terms of the motivation they could have given Liverpool that day, and maybe the intimidation that they can give to other teams? I mean, do you think that was a major factor, and how different do you think it'll be with fans in again?
David, thank you so much to pull out the credit of our victory last season in Anfield. We were so happy. You destroy my happiness right now because you don't give credit what we have done last season. I will never forgive you. Anyway, I'm very pleased that the Anfield is full again and the people there again to play a football game. So it's nice they come back and we can enjoy a fantastic atmosphere there, and hopefully we can handle it in a good way.
But does that show how a full Anfield can intimidate teams? I mean, obviously, it was a very rare situation last year that there were no fans and you won 4-1. Does that show how much of a motivation they can give Liverpool and how they can really almost intimidate other teams, or is that not a factor for you?
Listen, I'm pretty sure the players, they enjoy more to play with the fans in Anfield than without. Because everything is more alive, everything is more difficult. So when we don't win in Anfield, I don't know the reason. The last years, when 18 years ago, I was not there. The last 4 or 5 years, every time I was there, is because it's an exceptional team. And the crowd helps, of course, helps. Yeah, like in Paris, the people how was supporting. Even we were dominating some parts of the game, they were supporting behind the teams, but that happened. So with biggest stadiums, I've been in Germany when I went to Dortmund, I went in Barcelona when I went to Madrid, Atletico Madrid or Valencia, and always the crowd was there and pushing a lot. So basically, it happened is difficult, not about for intimidation. I would say, I don't know, I was not a football player. I would say for the quality for the opponent. And when sometimes you don't win is because they are so good. So we're going to try to do our game with the spectators and without the spectators. But yeah, last season we won.
Andy Hampson, please.
Oh, Pep. Can I just check on the squad, please? Any new fitness problems at all after Paris?
No, everyone is fit except Zinchenko and Gundogan.
And on Zinchenko, when can you expect him back?
Expect both after international break, hopefully.
Thank you.
Thank you, Andy. Sam Lee.
Hi, Pep. You were saying there about Raheem playing so well through the middle the other night in Paris. He's played on the left for the past couple of years, and in the 100-point season, he was more on the right. He can obviously play in a lot of different positions, but not too much on the right recently. Is that because his game's changed? Does the team need different areas? Is there something else?
No, he can play there, but to start the season, Gabriel there in that position that they play really, really good. For that game, we need especially guys like with his 1-against-1s with Jacques and Riyad could attract more opponents to the PSG players to create the spaces in other areas. And we need more specific, or we need a guy who runs in behind from right to left. Raheem is the best that we have in our squad. It depends sometimes of the opponents, of the way we want to attack, or the specific players that we need. Sometimes we need a specific quality for that. But I would say Raheem can play good in right, 100 points, play good, incredible, good in left with 98. And as a striker, always have the sense, the movements, always create something for himself in front of the goal. So like Ferran, both are so good making movements in behind in that game, especially the way he trained in the last week. So I thought he was able to do good performance that he has done.
Next we go to Paul Ballas.
Hiya, hola Pep. You have been talking always about how difficult is the Champions League, even how tough is getting through like the group stage. And sometimes people might say that in the past you overreact with those comments. What do you think now when you see Real Madrid or FC Barcelona with the results that they got? Does it surprise you?
No. The facts always they are not agreed, but always underestimated what the teams does or do. So that's why I'm not surprised about. Cannot be agree with me, but I'm there from 12 years playing Champions League every season, and I know how evolve, or how rise, how grew up this competition. And it's not a surprise that every game can be, can be dangerous. So even for the higher kids teams, always are difficult. So and can happen. So, but when normally some teams win because it's easy and try to underestimate your effort, and that's why I said many times, when you qualify for the Champions League next season, you have to celebrate it, and when you go to the last 16, you have to celebrate it. When you win in a group stage, you have to celebrate it, because I know everything is so difficult today, so difficult.
Thank you, Paul. Jack, go on.
Merci.
Hi, Pep. You said before that you're happier than you've ever been. What have you seen from the team that makes you feel that way? Because it's quite a big statement, given you've broken so many records, won 3 league titles.
But the way we played the last 2 games make me so satisfied what we have done. Of course, I am incredibly happy when we won the Premier League, but in this type of period, when Kevin De Bruyne is training just 2 weeks and Phil Foden just 2 weeks, and we have an important players injured, and we come back incredibly late, after how we overcome some situation, even in that period, the level of the consistent and the way we played in that 2 games is so good. So that's why it makes me happy than never, because I know how difficult. But it's not part of compare about what we have done in the past. The past, what we live was always will remain in our hearts, in what we have done. But you have to try to do it again and again, and know exactly the team where it come from, like we have done last season, that always almost impossible to do it better, so difficult. So still we have many details we have seen that still we are there after 6 years together. So, and that's why made me so proud to my players. And always I said to them, I cannot words to express the sense of gratitude, I would say, the sense of compliment, the way we played these 2 games. That's why we just to continue to do it. This is the target.
Thank you, Jack. Last question for the embargo from Shali Bardwaj.
Hi, Pep. Just going back to Liverpool, of course, there's been some classic matches between City and Liverpool in recent times, particularly in that 2018-2019 season. How much do you feel that those matches have helped shape the rivalry and competitiveness between the 2 clubs?
For Man City, is an honor to be a rival for Man City. I'm from Liverpool. I'm pretty sure decades ago we were not rival to them, but since many years we try to compete against this legendary club, and for us is an honor. Hopefully for them too. So, but for us it's an honor to be rivals, because it means we are there competing against, one of the more historic teams in England alongside United. So, and that's nice for us.